Hello and welcome to UMass Beyond the Classroom. I'm your host, Liza Herlands. Today we're going to be discussing UMass UDance, a 12-hour dance-a-thon that supports Bay State Children's Hospital. Every year, the participants of UMass UDance strive to raise as much money as possible to help make miracles happen and to help save children's lives. Today we have co-chair Taylor Nelson and Max Schuckman here to talk about this year's UDance coming up on November 16th. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
My pleasure.
So let's start off by talking about UDance. Can you guys explain what UMass UDance is?
Of course. Just like you said, it's a 12-hour-long dance marathon, and we raise money through the Children's Miracle Network for the Bay State Children's Hospital, which is actually not too far from here, and it happens every year. It's an annual thing, so it's really cool to know that all of our funds and all of our fundraising goes to kids and families locally who really need the help.
Oh, that's really great. So when did the UMass UDance Marathon start?
It started in 2006, so this is actually our 8th annual this year, so it's really cool to see how it's developed and changed and grown over the past 8 years.
Well, UDance brings a lot of members of the Greek community on campus. So which sororities and fraternities participate in this event?
Pretty much all of them at this point participate. There's 4 main councils: Interfraternity Council, which governs all the fraternities; Panhellenic Council, which governs all the sororities; National Panhellenic Council, which governs all the African American fraternities and sororities; and Multicultural Greek Council, which governs all the multicultural organizations.
Okay, so other than Greek community, does anyone else participate in UDance?
Absolutely. We've been one of the big things we're trying to do is get more and more participation outside of the Greek community. And this year, what we're doing is we're having a multitude of organizations perform. So in addition to participating, we also have like the Dada Fusion Dance Team, Kickin' Back Dance Crew, some other bands and a cappella groups performing. So it should be a really great time.
Oh, that's great. Can you talk about the different groups of people that contribute to planning UDance?
Of course, there's actually a couple of different committees. As you said, I'm one of the co-chairs. There's myself and 2 other co-chairs, Matt and Michelle, and we kind of oversee the whole organization of the event and also any fundraising events prior to that. And we also have our own committees that we work with directly. So I work with 2 different committees, as do each of the other co-chairs, and they're all part of the steering committee, which Max is also a part of.
Yeah, I'm part of the Logistics and Operations Committee. So what we do is we're finding different events to perform, ways to keep people entertained and involved throughout the entire 12-hour marathon. And it's also dealing with a lot of like logistical things, like where we're going to set up each performance, what timing, and just like security and all the little things that go into making us run an awesome event.
That's great. That sounds like a lot of work, and I know it turns out really smoothly. So I know about morale captains. So what are those, and what is their role at UDance?
Well, the morale captains are part of actually one of my steering committees, and we take a bunch of different types of students here on campus who really want to get hands-on involved, and they try and just keep up the morale of the whole event, make sure everyone's having a great time, make sure the kids are really interacting with everyone, because the day really is about the children, making sure that they have a day that's really special for them, and the morale captains make sure that everyone stays on their feet and dancing and having a good time, and making sure everyone survives the whole 12 hours, I guess.
So where does this money that you raise from UMass go?
So the money that we raise goes directly to Bay State. It's most of what it's used for is facilities, paying for medical professionals in order to help these children who need it.
Okay, so let's talk about the kids and those who benefit from UDance. Do they participate in the dance-a-thon?
Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite parts of UDance every year is the chance to interact with these kids. They're always so grateful, so energetic, and they just really bring smiles to everyone who speaks with them.
So do either of you have any experiences you can share about working with the kids from Bay State Children's Hospital other than what you had just said?
Of course. Well, of course they're here every year, so everyone gets to interact with them, which is awesome. And I know one of everyone's favorite experiences when they come through this big tunnel and have a great entrance in front of all the people who are attending UDance, so they have like a whole spotlight on them. But I know one of my favorite stories was from a few weeks ago. A few of us went to go visit Bay State, and we're just doing some arts and crafts and actually made a banner that everyone will be able to see at UDance this year. And one of the children asked, "I'm at Bay State, right?" So we told him, of course, that's where you are. And he was painting on the banner, and he wrote in really big, bold letters, "Thank you so much, Bay State." And it's probably one of the cutest things that I've ever seen, and it kind of brought a tear to everyone's eye in the room.
That's so great. Other than that, what kind of impact has UMass UDance had on Bay State Children's Hospital from the previous years?
Of course, all the money that we raise, as Max said, goes there. But it's really cool to see the stuff that we've helped build and develop, like a lot of stuff for the NICU, which are for babies who are born with any sort of deficit or born too early and need extra care. A lot of our funds have went to making sure that they have the proper mechanisms and proper techniques and stuff to take care of those kind of children who we obviously want to make sure that they get to survive and continue and get better.
I'm going to cry. What are some of the goals for this year's UMass UDance?
Well, as Taylor said before, a lot of different universities have dance marathons all over the country, and what we just want to do every year is just get even bigger, better, raise as much money as possible. One thing that we're trying to focus on heavily this year is to get more and more students involved, especially those non-Greeks. There's a little bit of a stigma that it's a Greek-run event, but it's actually not, because it's all for a good cause. It's all for the children, and honestly, everyone should be able to get involved and support that.
That's great. Where will UDance be held this year?
UDance will be held in the Student Union Ballroom, as well as there will be different activities going on the second floor of the Student Union.
Great. So how can our audience get involved in UMass UDance?
We actually have a Facebook page. It's really easy to find if you just search UMass UDance. There's an event page, which is the UMass UDance 2013. But there's also our group page, which is just the plain UMass UDance. And we have a bunch of different links to our Twitter, our Pinterest, and most importantly, our donating page, which is helpmakemiracles.org. And if you go right on there, you can register. It's just $10 right online. Your family can actually help donate, and any friends that you have, to make sure that you're raising a bunch for these kids. And if you don't want to go online, then you can just register at the door for $15.
That's so great. I'll definitely want to be getting involved this year. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank Taylor and Max for joining us. UMass will be kicking off UDance on Saturday, November 16th at 12 p.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. We hope you all can make it and support a great cause. See you next week for another episode of UMass Beyond the Classroom.